All right, so let's begin the show.
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for this exclusive webinar on evolving landscape around CFP in India. My name is Kanhaiya Jha, and I'm heading the admission and marketing at International College of Financial Planning. I'm delighted to host this session brought to you by International College of Financial Planning, India's first and largest premium learning partner of FPSB India. Established in 2002 and promoted by Bajaj Capital Limited, ICP has been a pioneer in financial education in India. In fact, it was the first who brought the CFP certification to India. Today, we are privileged to have with us Mr. Vibhu Venkat. He is a certified financial planner. He is an investor. He is a mentor for aspiring CFP professionals. Vibhu has spent over 2 decades to work in India and Dubai at top leadership position with different MNCs companies. Please join us to welcome Vibhu sir. Sit back, take note, and get ready to gain real insights into a certification that transforming financial career across the globe. Let's begin. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Kanaya. Okay, as always, it's very exciting, and it brings me immense joy when Kanaya provides me the opportunity, when ICFP provides me the opportunity to speak on such public webinars, because it gives us an opportunity to interact with a lot of aspiring financial professionals. You could be at any stage of your career, right? But such webinars provides us an opportunity to kind of stay connected, to know what is happening, and what are the different things that are happening in the market at any point in time, and how can we improve as a education provider of CFP, and also to be able to interact with various finance professionals. Okay, so before we begin the webinar today, I just wanted to ask, if you guys can put the replies to me in the chat, right? So let's assume that you are an advisor, or you are an MFD, or you are working for a wealth management firm, or you are not anyone from the industry at all. You are just trying to get a break into this industry, trying and looking for a career switch, or let's say you're an investor yourself. Okay, let's say you have about 10 lakh rupees in hand as of now. Okay, so what are the different places that you would invest? Can we get some answers in the chat box? That let's say you have 10 lakhs in hand. Okay, what are the different areas of the different asset classes that you will invest this 10 lakhs? If someone is asking for your advice as an advisor, or let's say you have to invest your own money. Okay, mutual funds and stocks. All right, so mutual funds, but what mutual funds? So Navneet, Aishwarya, Sandhya. Okay, Aishwarya, SGB. Unfortunately, SGB is currently discontinued, Aishwarya. So you might have to buy from equity mutual funds. That's good. So I was looking for some kind of ULIPs. Okay, funds, both debt and equity, stocks, FD, bonds. Depends on the goal. Gauri Jagdish says. Okay, very good. Any more answers? If we can have some more answers, because that would kind of set the tone of today's session. Small cap mutual funds for low age group and FD for senior citizen. Okay, that is a very good answer, Ruby. Mohammed Amin, mutual funds, REIT is mainly ethical investment. All right. Anything more? Understand personal goals. Okay, that is our Mandar Kulkarni. He's my mentee. I take risk for my age is 20. Okay, short-term debt and liquid. 4 lakh FD, 2 lakh MF mid cap, 50K term. Okay, and 3.5 in shares. Depends on the horizon. All right. Okay, so this is the actual crux of the discussion that we are going to have today. Okay, because people have money, people want to invest in the markets, and they are just looking for qualified advisory from professionals like us. All right, so I'm a CFP myself. All of you who are here who also want to become, you're all aspiring to become CFPs. This is the crux. This is the bottom line, that how will we advise people who have the money to invest that into the different asset classes? I always give this example. Just imagine, let's start with one imaginary situation. Okay. So you enter a hall with such a big door. Okay. The door itself is around like some 12 feet tall or something. It's got two doors, some nice brass handle. Okay. So it's a big room, and you're just going to the entrance of the room, and you are asking the person who is standing as a guard of that room to open the door for you. Okay. So both sides, each side, one guard is there. So they are opening the door for you. You are entering that room. Okay. So just imagine when we go to the marriages in receptions, we have buffet that is well spread out, right? So you are entering this hall, which is around some 10,000 or 20,000 square feet. It's so big a hall. Okay. And you have some 1,500 food items that are being lined up there. They're all categorized as different counters, something on the salad, something on the dessert, something on the main course, something on the vegetarian, something on the non-vegetarian, something on seafood, something red meat, something on white meat, something on seafood, and something which is on diabetic friendly. So you have almost like 1,500 food counters which are there. Okay. So you're not confused. And let's assume that you are holding the hands of your client who has a certain amount of money, and he can pay money at every counter and eat that, taste that food, right? So why do we eat food? Obviously, for survival, we need food, but beyond that, we need that taste, we need that exoticism, and we need that sense of satisfaction to be eating the different kinds of food, right? So as an advisor, you should be able to take your client by holding his or her hand to the counters which can fulfill their needs, which is suitable for them, depending upon their age, depending upon their health condition, depending upon their lifestyle choices. You are going to handhold them and take them to the number of counters that they can afford, because the money is limited. Okay, but the counters are so many. Correct. So with this background, our advisory role is to handhold our client in that big room or that big hall, which is of 10,000 square feet or 20,000 square feet, which has about 1,500 food items, which are categorized basis the different criteria. How are you going to handhold your client's hand and take them to those different counters to choose something in line with the amount of money they have, in line with the age that they have, in terms of their palatability? Because someone could be diabetic, someone could have blood pressure, he should not eat something with more salt, someone cannot eat something with more sugar, someone is young and fit, he is very adventurous, he can try as much as he wants, but he also has a limited amount of money. So how do you help your client choose which are the counters to go so that they get the utmost satisfaction for the amount of money they have, in line with their age, health, and their lifestyle condition? This is the role of a financial advisor. This is the role of a CFP. This is what a certified financial planner does, right? So with this in background, let's start the session with a PPT. I have a PPT to share with you all. So let me start the PPT. I hope you guys are all able to see my slide. Okay. So firstly, before we start anything, let's understand the magnanimity of the number that we talk. What is the number? So what is the investment landscape which is available in India as of today? 70 lakh crores. I think the May 25th, May 30th, or the May 2025 figure in terms of assets under management under the mutual funds in India, the AMFI's wealth corpus is in excess of 70 lakh crores. I think it's around 72 or 75 lakh crores. So I just wrote it as 70 lakh plus crores. I honestly don't know what is the number of zeros that a 70 lakh crores has. So, and this is just the start, trust me, because the market penetration in India is not even reached 2 digits. It is still slightly lesser than 10%. What does this mean? If there are about 100 people only less than 10 people are investing in the market. So when I say market, financial instruments, because traditionally as a society, we are very comfortable buying houses, putting money in FDs, buying gold ornaments, and then locking them up in the locker so that the money never comes into the economy. Just imagine that you're buying gold. Okay, like we cannot say that don't buy gold or don't buy gold ornaments, but when we buy gold ornaments and put them into the locker, we are not allowing the money to come into the economy, right? So, from that kind of a background, from that kind of a societal background, today we are slowly but steadily evolving into investing into the structured financial products in the market space, right? So, we have 70 lakh plus crores of AEM. I'm talking about just the mutual funds. I'm not even talking about the direct stock holding. I'm not talking about direct stock holding from a retail level. I'm not talking about the AAF, which is Alternative Investment Fund. I'm not talking about the PMS, which is Portfolio Management Services. So I am just talking about 70 lakh plus crores of mutual fund AUM. And their mutual fund AUM is what I meant as that 1,500 food items. Because in India, you have about 40 to 45 AMCs. And what is an AMC? Asset management company. So you have HDFC, you have ICICI, you have Kotak, you have Parag Parikh, you have Quant, you have Bandhan, you have Axis, you have Edelweiss, you have a lot of mutual fund houses which are so well recognized, so well regulated by the SEBI and AMFI. So there is a lot of regulation. There is a lot of investor awareness which is being created. Any brokerage app that you open, the first thing that you get is the risk disclosure of advising you not to do F&O, right? Which is futures and options. Why is this initiative being taken? Because they are interested in the protection of a retail investor. Without the retail investor, this market cannot grow. What if the retail investor gets greedy? He puts all his money or her money into something and loses all of it, then there is not going to be a churn. There is not going to be a rotation. So these 40 or 50 mutual fund companies, they work with a lot of regulations and a lot of compliance which they have to take care of. And there is a lot of money which is coming in. 70 plus lakh crores of AUM. I think the SIP book size on a monthly basis is around 25,000 crores. You would have been seeing, like usually when the foreign institutional investors or foreign portfolio investors, which are called FII and FPIs, when they take out the money from the market and move it to China or back to the US, because predominantly they're all US players, right? So if they take out the money and take it to some other market, then the market actually drops usually a lot. But today, the market is not dropping by that sense because there is a retail participation. The retail investors come in, they buy the dips, they don't stop the SIPs. Previously, people used to stop SIPs. Today, people don't stop SIPs. People are continuing with SIPs. The longer duration in terms of previously, people do not hold funds beyond 1 year. Even now, there is a lot of people who do not hold funds beyond 1 year, but slowly they're all changing, right? So, you can never get into a bus which is already overcrowded. You have to get into a bus which has still got a capability for you to take your seat. Only then it's good for your long journey, because we are not getting into the bus to get down in the next stop. We are there for a long haul. We are there for some 1,000+ kilometers of journey in that bus. We have to get our seat assigned to us. We have to get our positioning. We have to get our unique positioning, I would say, so that we can be a part of this longer journey. Trust me, without not talking about CFP, not talking about CFA, not talking about QPFP, not talking about any certifications, there is a tremendous amount of growth which is in offering in India as a market. I would say the next decade belongs to us. I've been saying this from the last 1 or 2 years, but the story keeps elongating. At least the next 8 years or so belongs to India, because it's got a strong domestic demand. The country is big. There is a very diverse population. The age group is so diverse. So the requirements of people who are there in the market is also so diverse. So that means that You have demand for automobile, you have demand for air travel, you have demand for hotels, you have demand for fine dining restaurants, you have demand for people consuming liquor, you have demand for real estate, you have demand for fashion clothing. Aditya Birla Fashion Limited, you know, Tata has got a lot of their arm in their arm. They've got a lot of fashion. And recently I was there in a Reliance store, right? So they have now also come into retail in a big way. And that's retail. When I say retail, like I'm talking about the garment retail, right? Like selling ready-made garments. So this is a place, and trust me, lot of those sovereign funds based out of Saudi Arabia, based out of United Arab Emirates, based out of Middle East, they want to have a participation in the Indian retail story. They strongly believe that there is a very strong demand, there is a strong consumption which is possible from the Indian market. IPL, just think about IPL. So we had to take a pause because of Operation Sindhu, right? This England Cricket Board, which is ECB, which used to be the colonial power which was ruling us for more than 200 years, they offered to host IPL. We declined it. Why? Because IPL is such a strong brand. We took a pause for 1 week or 10 days because of the operation, and then we restarted, obviously. But in that interim, ECB offered to host the IPL for the rest of the tournament. We declined it. Such is the strength of the consumption. So when your economy is growing, when your economy is so strong, the stock markets and the financial markets are bound to do well. And because we also have a very strong compliance, the Reserve Bank of India is a very strong compliant authority to control the banks. The SEBI, which is the Security Exchange Bureau of India, is a very strong arm which controls or which tries to protect at its level best the interest of retail investors. You do have some slippages. Let's not say that it is 100% foolproof. Time and again, you hear some episodes which are coming out, which is bound to happen when the amount of money is so large in nature. Okay, I was reading an article 2 days back. You know what is the amount of investor promoter holding getting offloaded into the market is about 1 lakh crores worth of stocks. Indigo's promoter sold some stocks. Some other company sold around 14,000 crores or 20,000 crores of stocks into the mutual fund space. Some other promoter, which is the British British Tobacco Company, which is the parent holding company of ITC, which makes cigarettes, right? They sold around 2.5% of their stakes. There is a small stake sellout in Airtel, which is for 2% or so, and ITC sellout, which is for a single day, single deal exit, was for 12,800 crores. Airtel, their holder, some Singaporean company who was a shareholder in Airtel, sold about shares worth of 12,600 crores, not so behind ITC. Still, the market is stable, relatively, touch wood, because they know, and the investors and the promoters and the institutional investors that are selling these stocks, they see that the valuation is attractive. They see that they're not going to shooting into their own leg, because if an Indigo's promoter is selling stocks worth of 10,000 crores or 12,000 crores, he is still going to hold shares in the company even after that sale. He doesn't want the company to crash. He wants to maximize or kind of make hay while the sun shines, they say, right? So they want to maximize the valuation holding, but they don't want to erode. It's like cutting a golden goose which lays out golden eggs, right? So they are pretty stable. The market is stable despite 1 lakh crores worth of sell-off by promoters and institutional investors. You can go and read this article in Economic Times. It came about a couple of days back. I think I was reading it yesterday also. The point which I'm trying to make here, my dear friends, is the market is huge and the potential is huge. There's a lot of money that is coming from the retail investors. People understand the value of investing. People understand the value of business, but they need guidance. They need advisory. They need a qualified direction. They need channelizing of their money to go into the right asset classes, which is why you have a lot of this PMS certification these days. It's become a very huge rage. It's become a huge hit. A lot of MFDs are also doing the PMS certification. What is PMS? It's portfolio management services the minimum investment ticket size in these products is 50 lakh rupees. So if you have to sell PMS to clients, you have to be PMS compliant. You have to be PMS certified. You have to be certified enough to go and sell PMSs in the marketplace to the investors. Previously, 50 lakh rupees of in 2020 January, before the COVID hit, this was at about 25 lakh rupees of ceiling in PMS. At that time, before the COVID drop came into the market, SEBI raised this benchmark, or SEBI raised this headroom to about 50 lakh rupees of minimum investment in PMS, because they want sophisticated investors who understand the risk, who understand the risk reward game of investing into PMSs through the fund managers. So they raised the minimum ticket size of investment to be 50 lakh rupees. I will not be surprised if they raise it to 75 lakh rupees in the coming days or in the coming months, because the demand is there. And they want really the qualified people, because someone who had the capacity of 25 lakh rupees or 30 lakh rupees before 4 years, trust me, is at a stage to invest 50 lakh rupees. At one point of time, 50 lakh rupees could have been 20% or 30% of his or her portfolio. Today, it would have come down to 10% of his portfolio, because the portfolio is expanding. Someone at 3 crores is sitting at 5 crores portfolio today. Someone at 4 crores is sitting at 7 crore of portfolio today. So at 4 crores, 50 lakh rupees was 8% of his portfolio. At 7 crores, it is not even 10% of his portfolio to be investing into a PMS. So the portfolio is expanding. So the amount of money which is available with the investors is expanding. Initially, they said HNI has got a cutoff of 2 crore. Now slowly they moved that to 3 crore, 5 crores. They said private clients with the banks like Axis Bank, Burgundy, HDFC, they said like at 5 crores is what we will have on board private clients. Today they are talking about 7 crores or 8 crores. What does this mean? People are making money. There is a churn. There is a positive direction in the market. But all in all, having said all these aspects, you need qualified advisory to be able to be guided. It cannot be, it is not, end of the day, this is not a casino, right? You go there with a bag of money, put money on the table, like, on a roulette or something. That's not the way it works, right? So you need structured guidance, channelized approach, and a very well guarded strategy to manage the risk. Because obviously we still have risk. The market keeps going up and coming down. We have risk. There's a lot of global turmoil which is happening. Trump, he says one thing in the morning, he says one thing in the evening. One day he says that he did the deal between India and Pakistan. Next day he says that he does the deal between Iran and Israel. And the day after PM Saab from our end makes a call, he says that no, India and Pakistan figured it out themselves. So there is a lot of global turmoil. There is a lot of global uncertainty. Russia has still not stopped their war on Ukraine. So, and now US is talking about having 500% of tariff imposition for countries who are buying oil from Russia. So that the two big biggers are India and China. So we could have effect of that. So you have a lot of global uncertainty. You have a geopolitical tension which is all around, but still the domestic market, the domestic demand, the way the company functions. Why is N. Chandrasekaran of Tata is going and sitting in the cockpit of Air India? They had a crash. The Ahmedabad plane, which had to be going to London, they had a crash. 220 plus people, and also even the innocent lives which are outside of the plane lost their lives in that accident. So people are afraid to fly. There's a lot of cancellation which is happening. There is a lot of therapy which people want to go. I read an article that someone is selling, flying therapy classes for the retail passengers at $500 an hour. Just think about the demand. It's again advisory. It's about counseling. It's about guidance. It's about giving you a structured path to even fly, right? So if that is the case, think about what kind of a scope the financial advisory is going to have. So 70 plus track pros in mutual fund space. PMS is ever evolving. AAF with 1 crore of minimum ticket size is ever evolving. And to service the needs and the aspirations of the medium-sized client, specialized investment fund, SIF, SEBI has introduced an SIF which they are bidding licenses to. They are saying that only the MFs can do. So at 10 lakh rupees of investments, SIFs can be opened by the AMCs, right? And they can deal with derivatives, like in terms of your futures and options, in their own manner, which under the watchful eyes of SEBI, they can do that. So the investors are, so PMS investor with 50 lakh rupees, he might have one PMS and he might look at 2 or 3 SIFs to invest their next 50 lakhs rather than entering into one other PMS. So there is a lot of options which are available for the investors. There's a lot of money, there are a lot of products, there is a lot of improvisation, there is a lot of compliance. SEBI is doing a great job in terms of regulating, in terms of controlling, in terms of disclosure of information. So all of this is there. The base is there. The theater is set. The stage is set. Now it is for people like us to go and do our bit in that. Are we ready for it? I'm ready for it. I'm an investor myself. I've been investing in the market from the last 10 years. I did my CFP to expand my horizon of investing. I'm helping people, I'm helping students clear CFPs. I'm a mentor, I'm an advisor, I'm an investor myself. I'm fully participating in the market boom. Are you? So if you're not, you're definitely missing an opportunity. And it doesn't have to be that you have to have 10 crore rupees or 1 crore rupees or 50 lakhs. You can participate in it even with an SIP of 500 rupees per month or 2000 rupees per month, whatever be your situation. So you have to participate. You have to become conscious about the fact that this is a market which is not worth missing. That's the bottom line here. So, and also, we are also talking about the passive investing, which is gaining momentum, where you invest on an index, you follow the index. There is a gold ETF. You know, what is the price of a Nippon gold ETF? Go and check in the Google after this. Last, when I checked last week, it was around 82 rupees or 83 rupees. So if someone wants to take an exposure in gold, he doesn't have to go and buy ornament. He doesn't have to wait for, someone said about SGB. SGB is currently discontinued from the government, the new tranches, but you can still trade in the market. You can buy and sell SGBs from the open market. The last SGB was issued in February 2024 with a maturity around 2032. But even otherwise, if you want to take part in gold, you can invest in gold mutual funds. You can invest in gold ETF. The unit price of a single ETF until last week when I checked, it was around 83 rupees, which means with as low as 1000 rupees, you can participate in the gold. Can you go and buy gold for 1000 rupees? I don't think they will even allow you to enter the showroom, a gold showroom with 1000 rupees. But today, you can participate in the movement or the gaining momentum of gold pricing with 1000 rupees investment into the gold ETF. And trust me, gold is a precious metal. It has limited supply and it has demand from World Bank levels. All the central banks across the world, Reserve Bank of India is piling up on gold. The central bank in China, central bank in Tokyo, which is Japan, then your Fed Reserve in the US, then the Bank of England, which is in London, they're all big buyers of gold. So when they buy, just imagine the scale of buying. It's not just your ornament. It's not about your Akshaya Tritiya anymore. It's about gold at a different level. I'm saying, gold, I will not be surprised if it reaches even 20,000 rupees per gram in the next 5 or 7 years. It was touching about 10,000 rupees per gram. So it will easily double, right? So these are the investment avenues. So when I invest into a gold ETF, it's in a way is a passive investing. If I invest in Nippon ETF, which tracks the Nifty 50 index, it's passive investing. Nifty was launched into the trading at around 1999. And if someone has bought Nifty at that time, and if he has held till 2024 or 25, his returns are in double digits on an annualized basis, around 14% or so. Much, much safer than your bank FD, much, much lower in taxation than your bank FDs, and absolute returns are great. Absolute returns on an annualized basis is great. So we have these avenues. How do we capitalize, sir? You are having 1,500 food items that is lying in front of you. How do I go and choose what is the best thing?
Sorry to interrupt you, Vibhu sir. There are a couple of chat I can see in the chat box. Can you please have a look?
Is my voice not clear or something? Is that something?
You are very loud and clear, but couple of person chatting in the, just have a look on the chat box also.
Okay. Sure. So that is the investment landscape that we are talking about here. Okay. Why is this not moving? Okay. So as I said, we are at less than 10% of market penetration. The next leg of growth is going to be beyond the first 30 cities. What is this B30 cities, which is your typical metros like your Chennai, Bangalore, and stuff like that. Okay, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, etc. So the next leg of growth is going to come from your tier 2 and tier 3 cities, where people have been traditionally investing into instruments like post office and stuff like that. They are going to be curious. They are going to be interested in investing into these structured products. How do they do that? They need you. They need me. They need us as advisors to be able to help them. So how can we equip ourselves with the certifications that we are talking about, like CFP of the world, right? So investors recognizing for financial need for financial advice, because if someone has 10 lakh rupees, I asked, there's a lot of views that we got. If the same investors have a money of 50 lakh rupees, the same investors have 1 crore rupees, then they're not going to do this do it yourself, which is DIY. They're going to be needing the wants of an advisory. That is when you and me come into play. And how are we going to equip ourselves? We're going to equip ourselves with certifications like these. So as I said, the regulator is protecting the needs of the retail investors, which is like SEBI. RBI is doing a great job. There's a lot of protection. There's a lot of watchfulness. There's a lot of disclosures that people have to provide. So all of that is building up. So we are setting the base. The base is very, very strong. Now the structure can go up to even 150 floors, exceeding the Burj Tower in Dubai. So as we began this webinar, I was talking about how will you invest this 10 lakh rupees. The aspect of investing that into multiple asset classes is what is, my friends, I call it as asset allocation. Asset allocation is the secret recipe of a successful portfolio. If you do not understand asset allocation, you cannot be a winner in the marketplace. And if you understand asset allocation, coupled with risk profiling, which is why I wrote risk profiling right below the asset allocation, because someone very correctly said, I think Navneet had said that he, depending upon the age, depending upon the goal, depending upon the time horizon, he or she will be advising about the correct asset classes to invest. That is asset allocation. That is risk profiling. Because we know that there is an opportunity, but how do we participate? How do we maximize that opportunity? We have to know where to invest and how to invest. That is where the asset allocation and risk profiling comes into place. Goal-based planning, trust me, guys, there is a lot of demand for goal-based planning. People are willing to spend even 1 lakh rupees on goal-based planning. Like, I want to send my kid to education in the US. I want to plan for my daughter's wedding. I want to do a destination wedding for my daughter, which is going to cost about 1 crore rupees. How do we do all this goal-based planning? One of my friends has a startup called Multiple, which is based out of Bangalore. They have tied up with a lot of companies, and they have a lot of brands like Make My Trip, Chroma, Carrot Lane and stuff like that. It is called Save Now, Pay Later. You define your goal, you define the monetary value of the goal, and you start investing a certain amount of money towards that goal for a certain amount of period. That is the opposite of buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later is you buy and you convert that into EMIs. But this, you first save and then pay, buy later. So it is save now and purchase later, correct? So goal-based planning, and obviously we all need to understand the importance of insurance, which we got to know during the COVID times, right? So today there are multiple tons and tons of products of insurance, term insurance, your critical care, your health insurance, which has got a lot of riders, a lot of conditions, no limit on the room rent ceiling across the zones of India, any city that you can go and take medical cover for, co-pay, 8% I have to pay, 5% I have to pay, like that. So you have multiple varieties. So you should be at least having the idea, you should be able to guide your investors towards the correct insurance products where there is no mis-selling. And obviously, the biggest of all this is retirement planning. There is a tremendous amount of focus in the market today for retirement planning because people want to retire early and they are living longer because of the advancement in the medical infrastructure which is available. So all of this, if you culminate all of this, one hand, the market is evolving. Other hand, there is money with people. And on the other hand, there is a lot of aspirations for people to be doing well. They want to take international vacation. Someone want to go to Venice. They want to take a ride in the water taxi in Italy. They want to go to the Eiffel Tower. They want to go to your Shanghai, which is there in China. They want to go to Peking to see the Great Wall. And, it's domestic traveling, international traveling, the aspirations of people. They want to buy cars. They want to buy SUVs. They want to buy MUVs. So the aspirations is also going up. The goal size is going up. And the disposable amount of money which is available with people is also going up. And to top it up all, there is a lot of awareness also, but we still need a guided approach towards investing, which is where we all come into play. So what is in it for me? Why are you and me sitting in this webinar? So we create a unique positioning through the CFPs. We have a very structured approach towards the investment advisory, and we can face the HNI strongly. One of my batchmates who did CFP with me, he said, sir, he's an MFD. He's based out of Odisha. Okay. So he does that. His business is predominantly is from the tier 2, tier 3 cities. He told me before about like 3-4 months. He said, sir, previously when some client used to come with me for with advisory for about 15 or 20 lakh rupees of investment, I used to get scared that I should not do a mistake because it's not my money, it is someone else's money. But after I did CFP, I am confident even to face a client who has 50 lakh rupees to invest. Such is the level of confidence. You understand risk, you understand asset allocation, you understand diversification, you understand what is the maximum that you can churn out of your portfolio basis the risk and reward. So that is what this certification provides you with. That is what is the ammunition. That is what is the strength that you get out of a certification like this. And you widen your horizon, your thoughts, your thought process, you get exposure to multiple product asset classes, you understand how to evaluate the risk of them, and you are also in a position to create tailor-made solution. What works for A doesn't work for B, what works for B doesn't work for C, which is why your role and my role is still relevant because we are humans. There is a lot of behavioral finance which goes into play. Otherwise, they will all have machine-based advisory, right? Where AI just churns out, prints out number of pages to talk advisory. It is never going to happen to the fullest. It can become an aiding tool for us, but it cannot replace us because each human is different. Each person's requirement is different. Each person's aspiration is different. Each person's network is different. And each person's social background is different. So depending upon all these human angles, that is where you add the value as a human advisor. And what is that you need for that? You need something like what SBI has correctly chosen it. State Bank of India, the largest commercial bank in India, has tied up with FPSB India to certify around 2.36 employees across pan India in their wealth department to become CFP certified. If SBI can see it, because SBI is a white elephant, right? It's a big elephant. For them to make decisions, it always takes time because it's a big machinery. You can turn a small vehicle pretty easily, but if you are running, trailer vehicle with about 36 tires, to turn that takes time. But if it turns, then it turns. And the world is taking a watch, right? So SBI has decided to partner with FPSB India to certify 2.36 employees in financial planning in their wealth management vertical. This is not that SBI has multiple lakhs of people, but 2.36 lakhs are those client-facing wealth management role-specified people who SBI wants them to be CFP certified. So if SBI wants them to be CFP certified, then why not us, right? So with that in background, we are going to see about what are we here for. Here for what is CFP certification? How do we go about the CFP certification? What is the curriculum? What are we here as ICOFP, which is a fully owned subsidiary of Bajaj Capital, one of the largest wealth management firms in this country, which has been there in existence for half a century. They've completed 50 years recently. So what is our strength? What do we bring to the table? As Kanaya said initially, we are the first, as an education provider, we are the first pan-India to bring CFP course to India, right? So to become a certified financial planner, please come on board with us is what is the bottom line that we are talking about here. And why CFP certification? It is a gold standard certification when it comes to personal finance, right? It is recognized in 27 different countries, which means it has got a very holistic approach. Why holistic, sir? Because when a person's risk is to be evaluated, what is the need for the risk evaluation of a person, even if he's sitting in California, in US, or if he's sitting in Chandigarh, the risk evaluation has to be done for a client. The investment choices have to be made in line with that. So this CFP certification is a cornerstone. It's a gold rated program for personal finance because it gives you a all round 360-degree view in personal finance. So international certification obviously is offered by Financial Planning Standards Board, which is called FPSB. It is headquartered in the US in Denver. Okay, and FPSB India here is offering the CFP certification. We are the official premium education provider of CFP courses in India. So CFP with your name has got a lot of value because you will be earning that certification after you go through the rigor, after you go through the grind, after you understand every aspect of financial planning. So across the BFSI sector, a lot of banks have this requirement for their investment counselors and their people working in wealth management to be CFP certified, which is what we saw. The latest development is in SBI. Correct. People previously used to have these things, even it was not coming to the public eye. But today, with this SBI announcement, everyone understands that what is the requirement for such a gold-rated program like CFP. That is an endorsement by itself. Why should SBI choose CFP? They could have chosen anything they want because they're SBI, but they still chose CFP because they understand the range and the depth and the value that this program offers. Okay. Elements of value. So you understand your clients, you understand your firms in terms of in CFP, it is very simple. It is always client is the god. Client is first. So we say that the client is one that gives us the revenue, that gives us the profit. We are also here to make money, right? We are not here for some Samaj Seva. We are here to make money. We are here to help people make money. In the process, we also make money. But we have to do it in the most ethical way possible, wherein by which we keep the client's interest first. So if you see any CFP curriculum that you read, you will read this line at least 100 times or 200 times is client first. What is client first? For me, my client is first. He could be 60 years old. He could be 40 years old. He could be 35 years old. But I have to keep my client's interest first to be in a position to plan better, right? So the client first philosophy, the ethical, and where you're not mixing, you're not contradicting because you're trying to sell something because you're getting commissions, all that is secondary. Your primary requirement, your primary objective is to satisfy and fulfill the needs and requirements of the client that is sitting in front of you, right? So CFP kind of a certification helps you do that because it drills that ethics into you, correct? So we understand the gaps in terms of RIA, it is reducing. People are giving back the RIA license actually because it used to be around 1300 or 1400 because it is reducing because of the compliance. Even I myself wanted to become an RIA, but I couldn't because I'm not a postgraduate in finance or something. I've never worked in BFSI. I've been advising people from the last 10 years. I've been investing myself into multiple products, including PMSs of the world, myself as an investor. So I am a CFP also, but I'm not RIA. But does that stop me from advising people? No. But the thing here is SEBI somewhere, and I'm sure they will understand that the tighter regulations or the tight grid which they have over the RIA is actually working against them because the number of RIAs is actually reducing. It has become sub 1000. It used to be slightly above 1000. The number of CFPs is also not so very high, but I'm sure it is bound to increase, which is why I said, if you want to get into the bus, today is the right time so that you can get your seat, you can get a good seat, you get the seat you like, and you are there for a long time. But look at the number of MFDs, 178,000. If you are an MFD also, if you become CFP certified, it gives you that positioning to be providing quality service, quality advisory to your clients. understanding that 1500 or 1600 different food items which is there in the buffet. Okay, these are the different career opportunities that you could have if you are CFP certified. This is into wealth management, private banking, investment consultancy, portfolio management, insurance products, then general insurance, life insurance, financial products, financial advisory services, fund management, tax planning. It's an all-round course. The first level has, we will talk about the different modules which are there in this program so that you get a sneak peek into what this program offers as the different components in their curriculum, so that you will understand yourself that why is this rated the gold standards program of personal finance across the world, just not in India. Okay. So this is the topmost certification in personal finance, unique 4-in-1 certification, ideal for students, professionals, whatever be your state. You can be from any background, arts background, science background, engineer. You can be I even know a doctor who did CFP just to manage his finance in a more structured manner. Okay. And it's not a very long and an exhaustive course. Even if you join the regular pathway, it's going to take you around 8 months or 10 months if you study, if you put your mind to it. And there is also a fast track which you could finish in 4 to 6 months also, where you appear for the final level of exam straight away if you are a postgraduate diploma holder or working in BFSA for 3 or 5 years, right? So to join the program, you just have to be minimum 10 or plus 2 pass, which is 18 plus years of age and no restriction of stream. You can be from any stream. But you have to get certified, but you have to have a degree, which is a minimum graduation, and 3 years of work experience in banking, financial services, or a 1 year of internship under a CFP. Okay, so you can join the program, you can finish all the 4 levels of exams, get certified. You might have to do an intern, or you can join a job basis that saying that you are finished all the CFP levels. You can join a job, and with that job experience, because the scores that you get is valid for 5 years. So that's not in a hurry. You can get it certified in one manner or the other. So that's not a big challenge. And what is so interesting is that like they do not have any age or even a guy who is 19, a guy who is 20, or a guy who is at 45 or 50 can join the program. It's a very holistic program. So as I said, these are the different modules of CFP. The first level is investment planning specialist. You learn about the different asset classes, what is standard deviation, what is beta, what is Sharpe ratio, what is Trenner ratio. If you open money control and see for the key risk ratios, you will have 5 key risk ratios. The standard deviation, Sharpe ratio, Trenner ratio, beta, and Jensen's alpha. Get to read all of this here. You get to read the personal finance mathematics, which is about present value of money, future value, and how does the interest rate works and stuff like that. In second level, you have the retirement and tax planning. And in third level, you have estate planning, which is about giving away the assets to the next generation, and risk analysis, which is on insurance. And the culmination is the fourth level, where you kind of apply all these concepts, build a project, which is a very wholesome project. They will be giving you a case study. You have to build a project basis that, which is a capstone project, and you also have to write an exam. So it has got the rigor, it has got the requirements to train you, to get you sharp, to widen your horizon. The program offers it all, which is why it's a gold standard program, which is of a, I would say it's a great deal of requirement in today's market, considering the amount of money which is coming. Because when you have to advise money, if it is your own money, also you need responsibility. But if you are handling money of someone else, you need 10 times more responsibility, which is why the program has got its rigor, which builds you and makes you a better professional, makes you a better individual with empathy, but also having knowledge into the investment landscape. So we have this rule of conduct, professional responsibility, and all this, which is part of your different stages of financial planning in terms of how do you kind of inquire your clients about their goals, their aspirations, so that you can build a better plan, right? So until and unless you don't get qualified inputs, the plan that you develop, the portfolio that you develop might not be qualified, right? So why ICOFP? So I speak to almost like 5-10 guys who call me, seeing my LinkedIn, seeing my webinar notices, seeing my this public webinars. They speak to me. I always tell them only one thing. See, you can contemplate, you can think 10 times, 20 times if CFP is a right fit for you. You evaluate the fit value. But the moment you have decided that you have to do CFP, then you don't have to wait even for the next 60 seconds. You can sign up with ICO. Because if the moment you have decided that you have to do CFP, then ICOFP is the best destination in this entire country to be doing that. Why? Because we understand the program, we have grown with the program, we have seen how the program has evolved in different stages in this last 20 odd years. As I said, we were the first education providers to bring CFP into this country. So we have the digital infrastructure, we have the practice questions, mock tests, we have the notes, we have the right amount of content, we have the qualified faculty, we have the digital infrastructure where you can go and check your recordings. Your LMS is in your fingertip, in a phone, in an app. It is built into an app. So everything is within your palm. The whole course is compressed into your form. So what is required from your end? The commitment to study. If you do that, then we will be there end to end, right from the moment you sign up for this program till you get certified. We are there, right? So these are our the faculty board. Obviously, Professor Madhu Sinha is our dean. She was awarded the best educator by SPSP in their last year program. Obviously, you can see my face also here. So we have all professionals who have at least a decade plus or 2 decades of experience into whatever that they are doing in their professional capacity. Okay, so we have the qualified people, we have the right infrastructure, we understand the content, we have the experience, we have evolved with the course. So, which is why I always say, think 10 times about enrolling for CFP, but don't even think once after you have decided to do CFP, because if you decide to do CFP, it's ICP, right? So, as I said, our dean had won the Educator of the Year under the category of Educator of the Year. She won the award in 2023-24. That's when they had this event last year in the GIFT City in Gandhinagar in Gujarat. So as I said, you have multiple options. You have weekday classes, which are in the evenings from 7 to 9 or 7:30 to 9:30. You have the weekend classes, which is in Saturday and Sunday. You have weekday batches, weekend batches. You also have the e-learning batches where you can learn through the LMS, where the videos are uploaded, where the faculty takes the classes specifically for the e-learning people. So you have multiple options depending upon your age, depending upon your time, depending upon the nature of your job, depending upon your personal commitments. You can choose what you want to do and how you want to do. But as they say, all roads lead home, all the rivers go to the sea. So wherever you choose, whatever is your modality you choose, you will be CFP certified as long as you partner with us and show us the commitment from your end, right? So we understand as of so beyond all this, as I said, we have that human touch, we have that human angle where we handhold a candidate from the time they signed up with us, from the time they are on board with us, till the time they get certified, right? So these are the different tools that is available to you. You will have to really experience it in terms of feeling that experience. Some things can be described in words, some things have to be felt. The experience of being a CFP. And by the way, one interesting aspect, I did my CFP course in ICOFP as a student, after which I became a mentor here because they saw whatever that I had in me as a quality. So it's not that ICOFP handholds you just not until the certification. It also kind of channelizes you and grooms you to become a professional within this industry as well, if you are having that level of quality, right? So these are the different tools which is there. I'm 100% first hand recipient of all these tools as a student, and I did a little bit of improvisation along with the team which is already there in ICOFP in terms of making the user experience better. So this is the fee structure which you have, where you will pay this fee directly to the board, which is FPSB India. We have got nothing to do with this. These are the pricings, which is the pricing structure is being finalized and provided by FPSB India, where the transaction between you and the board happens directly. We have no role in this. None of these monies come to us. You pay directly to the board of these monies which are being listed here. Okay, the pricing is being decided by FPSB India from time to time with some constant revisions in the pricing. So this is the commercial that you have with the board directly as a customer. All right. Starting from registration till the certification fee which happens at the end. This is for the regular pathway, where you have to clear 4 levels to become CFP certified. Okay. Then you have the fast track pathway, where you have the different qualifications in terms of the eligibility that you want to have to become the fast track. So to be in the fast track, what is fast track, sir? Fast track is like, you are ahead of the queue because of your experience, because of you being a finance professional, and you can straight away take only the final exam plus the project. So then you become the CFP if you clear them both. A regular pathway, I did through the regular pathway because I was not from this industry. So I had to clear 4 levels of exam plus the project. But someone who is in this industry, someone who has the education qualification, they can straight away go to the 4th level, give the exam and project and become CFP certified, which is possible in a time span of 5 to 6 months. In a very realistic sense, I'm saying. So this is again the fast track board fee. As I said, the previous slide was for the regular pathway, where the transactions and the commercials were with the board and the client directly or the candidate directly. This is the fee which the candidate pays to FPSB board directly, where we have no role. This pricing is decided by FPSB themselves. So your transactions of these different pricing will be with the board directly, right? So this is what we offer. This is where we come into play in terms of the different programs that we offer. So which is the virtual learning, is the live classes where you get tutored by people like me. You can ask your doubts, you can make it engaging, you can make it useful while you are listening to the classes on a live mode. E-learning is where you get the pre-recorded videos, and the fast track pathway also has the e-learning and the live classes mode. So this is the pricing for the different streams of educational interface which ICOFP provides to the students. 60,000 for the regular, which is the virtual learning, and e-learning regular is 45,000, and 45,000 for the fast track pathway in terms of live classes and the course intervention that we have. Okay, this is the fee structure that you will be dealing with us direct as an education. All right. So this is the offer. Yeah, Kanaya.
Vivu, I think I sent you the previous PPT because the FPSB assessment fee, that is 10,500, that is revised to 12,000 now from June
Okay.
on.
Okay. So the pricing that we have is an old pricing sheet, is it?
Yeah, so just one change, that 10,500 is at 12,000 rupees.
Okay. But that is between the board and the client directly, right? So that's like as and when they revise, so they will get to know that. So that's a transaction which happens with the candidate and the board, right? So there is always a constant revision which happens from the board. It is their discretion. We have no role to play in that. But this is the offer that we have in terms of, when I say offer, this is what our commercials is in terms of someone getting on board with us for CFP program.
So
So
also one thing, so this offer is not just 1,500, this is 3,000 rupees.
for today is 3,000. Okay. So this is if someone signs today, correct? So if someone is enrolling for the program today, our Kanaya says that the flat discount on the monetary value is 3,000 rupees if you enroll for today, and you don't have to pay the full fee. Also, I think you enroll, you sign up for the course by paying 10,000 rupees. Is that right, Kanaya? Then after that, they can go for finance arrangement where they pay it as an EMI to a financial arm where we have the tie-up with. They can put you onto that. Krishan will be able to ably assist you. Krishan and his team are very aggressive, and they will be in the right position to guide you all in terms of availing the different financial programs to be able to assist you, because we try to bring that affordability factor also. So if you pay 10,000, you are on board with us, you also get a discount of 3,000 and you're also on board with us. And then the rest of the course fee, depending upon what you choose, can be paid through that financing arm, right? So you also have the content fee where you get a 50% discount because every time you register for exam, you have to purchase their content, on which you get a saving of 16,250 because of the 50% discount vouchers that we offer to our candidates at the time of registering for exams. They can use this discount code to purchase the content at half the price, basically, because it's giving a 50%. We also have a lot of NISM 5-year e-learning videos and stock trading tips programs, which are so structured, done by professionals who are there in the market for a long time. Get to have access to those videos as well. So you have the monetary benefit, you have the intangible benefit like access to these videos, and you also have a benefit which is half the price for the content of FPSB if you enroll with us today, which you can do by paying only 10,000. The rest can be done through a financial structured arrangement, which our team will be in a right position to advise you all in, right? So this is the 6 easy EMIs, pay rupees 10,000 for today, and it's with zero interest. So our team will be in a better position to be guide you on that. And if you have some questions with regards to your qualification, whether it meets the criteria for you to be eligible for fast track, please do get in touch with Krishan. Krishan can put his email address on the chat, which he always does. You can send your resume to him. He will be in a position to do the soft check with the FPSB board if you are eligible for the fast track program or not. Okay, so you just need to have the intent. Rest of the things we are here to take care of, whether it is the financing arrangement, whether it is about checking with the board or coordinating with the board to check your qualification, to check your eligibility criteria, to walk you through the different course modules until the time of certification. Right from the time, Krishan will hold your hand first, bring you into this ecosystem, and we will all be there all through the journey, and we will be there until the time you get certified. So don't worry about it. As I said, you can think about doing CFP, but the moment you have made up your mind to do CFP, ICOFP is the testing. So with that, I end. Sorry.
There are a couple of questions in the chat box. Can you please take?
Sure.
Taking one by one. Keep the slide there, the contact number, in case if someone has to call.
No, should I continue to share the screen, or acha, they can take the note of the number? Huh?
Right.
I'm already working as an authorized partner with IIFL Capital Tata EMS. Can kindly tell me about certification management? Of course, you can become a better person in terms of, as I said, you can be an MFD, you can be a insurance qualified personnel who is already having tie-ups with a lot of companies. This program makes you a better professional because this is like upskilling, right? This is like making your experience better. This is like making your offering, making your quality of advisory to be better. So obviously, what advisory you give currently vis-a-vis what you give after the CFP course, it is something which you have to experience, sir. Some things in life have to be experienced for, right? So like, you need to experience this to be able to give that. Your quality of advisory will go up tremendously when you do the certification. So you can just imagine. So the proof of the pudding is there in an organization like SBI wanting to have their 2.36 lakhs of wealth management personnel to be, because otherwise they don't have to be certified. Like they are working for SBI, right? They don't need to be individually certified because the organization as a whole is recognized mutual fund distributor. It is a recognized insurance selling company. So, but then even beyond all that, if they want their individual employees to be certified, to be going through this rigor, you can understand that they are looking at the quality of advisory which can enhance the user experience for a client who is working with SBI Wealth. What is the qualification? Sudipta Thakur. So qualification to enter, you just have to be a +2 with 18 years of age, and there is no restriction on the stream. And to get certified, I told about that work experience and stuffs. So that can be followed up in terms of after you finish all the levels. Okay. I'm working in a bank since 12 years with CAIP certification. I'm graduate. Can I choose fast track? And its regular pathway is best or fast track is suitable for kindly guide. So if you are not a postgraduate degree holder, I don't think your qualification might be a little bit of a challenge in terms of fast track. But you,
See, not the JI, but the CAIB is from the
yeah,
IIT.
you can check that. So whatever is your
Yeah,
soft check,
eligible.
which Christian has dropped his email address in the chat box. So please send your resume. Please also do get in touch with him. If you can drop your phone numbers, also they can get in touch with you as well to evaluate your eligibility criteria for fast track. So AI cannot impact. No, I told already this AI, how long, like, will they understand a person who sits in Odisha? Will they understand a person who sits in Karu? Will they understand a person who sits in Coimbatore? The AI will never have that intelligence to do that, right? Only the human intelligence can do that. I'll be doing regular pathway. I'm freshly graduate, be eligible for CFP registration and mark. I'm sure I can join the What about the set? I have 2 plus experience as operational head in an organization. So you will have to check regarding your work experience if it qualifies to be get the CFP marks and certification. Please do get in touch with Krishan for that. Okay, what is the minimum package after CFP? If you are a fresher, I think the minimum package which is in offer in the market is somewhere between 5 to 8 lakh rupees, depending upon your background, depending upon, when I say background, your educational background, and depending upon the city you belong to. So that's the kind of minimum package. And from there on, it is up to you in terms of how do you evolve as a person to go on to have a further, scope as potential in your career. 7 years of insurance experience in the banker channel. Yes, fast track, sir. It depends upon your educational qualification also. So please do drop in your resume to Krishan. He will be able to help with that. Okay. Yes, yes. If you are an MBA, if you are MBA, you are in the BFSA. BFSA is just not bank, sir. It is banking, financial sectors, and insurance also. So even if you have worked in an AMC, if you have worked in any wealth management advisory space, BFSI, it comprises not just banking, it comprises the entire sector. It comprises the insurance as well, including exam and appeal certification. Means not required any face-to-face. No, it doesn't require any face-to-face at all. You can give exam online. You can give exam in NSC center also. You can submit the project online. There is no viva. There is no need to go and meet any person in person. All our classes are online. So this can be driven 100% right from the start till the end. Yes, of course, you need experience to be certified. Okay. So do we take, yeah, you're a graduate of social science, no problem, Sudipta. You can join the program. You just need to have that internship or a work experience under someone to be certified for this after you clear all the levels. So that's not a challenge. A lot of young students do that. I have mentees who are as young as 20 years, 21 years, 19 years and all. The advisory company I'm graduate with, can I go with fast track? I doubt that, but please do drop in your resume to Krishan. He will be able to assist you with that, Shashank Shukla. Okay. Tanaya, do we take any voice questions here, please?
If you can see, we haven't answered question of Pankaj Kumar. We haven't answered of Narpat Shekhawat. Can you please go a little up?
Okay. Of course, this question one, I have always said, and I am a believer that the human skills can never be replaced completely. If BlackRock and Geo can partner with them, they can go to SRCCs and IITs of the world to get people, but you need human advisors. PK PKs are, while the collaboration is No, PK is our student, Kanya, so I think it's okay. PK, I'll speak to him. PK, you can get in touch with me, so you don't have to be emotional about this step of direction. This is a step which is a professional decision. It is not anything personal against any single individual. Okay.
All right. So, friends, if you have any question, you can also raise your hand and I'll unmute you one by one. You can ask your question. You can interact with Vibhu sir. Yes, Narpatji, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. I was wondering, I understand Mr. Vibu has answered my question about the ongoing scope of this course. I understand there is a huge demand per his statement at the moment. However, I was talking about down the line, I don't know, 1 year to take this course, another 2, 3 years to get experience. And I'm talking about next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Point is, I heard a lot of news like Geo and all. They are using advanced softwares like the examples I have provided. My concern, not only in this field, but let's say engineering, medical science, and all. So, how relevant it will be? I know I am asking the same question again, but there is a purpose behind it. The
It's
point
got a
is
huge
there
relevance, Narpat. I'll tell you why.
no is there any further advanced course that may be one answer? That after doing this, there is something else which will further uplift the skills to match the ongoing, improvements in the system and all. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Narpat. So I hope you finished your question. Let
Yes,
me
thank you.
answer this. See, life is always an ongoing exercise in terms of we'll have to upgrade ourselves on a consistent basis. So there is no doubt about it. So ongoing upskilling is always there. And with regards to this Blackstone and Geo, I'll tell you a first-hand experience. My daughter is studying in SRCC in Delhi. Okay, she's doing her BCom honors. So the Blackstone guys came there for campus placements because it's the top commerce college across India, right? So they are hiring youngsters, okay, and they came in 4 different cars. The interview was in Oberoi, and like they were staying in Oberoi and brought the candidates to Oberoi. The 4 guys of the panel came in 4 different cars. They are still hiring a 19-year-old BCom graduate, okay, for some level of a human intervention. The AIs can come. The AIs are going to make your job better. The AIs are going to be a complementing tool for you. But can it ever replace a human? Because you still have the behavioral finance which is there, right? Because you have to understand there is a product, there is a churn which a printout can give the different types of products and different categories of products, but you need that human mind to understand another human mind to fill that intangible gap. That is where the advisory scope comes into play. The advisory form and dimension can be different than what it is today to what it will be after 5 years or 10 years. But personally, if you ask me, AI can never replace. But again, if you are asking like, can this be written somewhere and said that it can never be replaced? I don't think anyone can do that. But I personally believe from my value system and being in this field for these many years, I could say that there is a lot of element of behavioral finance which can never be replaced by AI vis-a-vis a human. But a human who understand how to use or how to kind of extract value from a AI can always be a beneficial over a human who doesn't understand how to use the AI as a so AIs cannot replace a financial advisor, but AIs can replace a financial advisor, a human financial advisor who doesn't understand AI. So the answer to that question is within the question itself that you have to be a human who understands how AI works. Okay, you don't have to be worried about whether the AI will take away my job completely. The answer to that question is no, but you have to understand how the AI as a tool or as a catalyst can help you in this advisory process. So it's an ongoing journey. There is nothing absolute in life that if I study CFP, it is going to be relevant for the next 25 years. The answer to that question is no, we have to all evolve. Because even within CFP, what was the course content before 5 years or 10 years has evolved now. But once you become CFP, you have that mind frame, you have that mindset to be able to constantly updating yourself with information and knowledge and stuff like that. So that is going to help you. So like the replacement 100% can never be possible, but you have to understand AI as a tool, how to leverage it, how to extract value out of it. That understanding part is critical for you to be a successful human advisor. Okay.
Yeah, just thank you for your answer. If you, with your permission, I've got a supplementary question. Is that okay? If you allow me 30 seconds.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. What the purpose of asking this question is not to get yes and no from you. The purpose is so that me, as an individual who's planning to step into this field, can do something else to complement this course to improve my skills. For example, this course will run for next 1 year. If you think that yes, side by side, this is a little course we advise to our students, so that in addition to this full flash course, you will also be learning something from AI side. So that was the only purpose I asked to complement this. But
AI
that's
side,
okay.
sir, it depends upon what exactly is the place of landing that you want to be in terms
Sure,
of
sure.
what is
No, no,
that
I
you
got you.
want to become. You
Yes,
want to be
thank
an
you very much.
MFE, you want to be working for a firm, you want to be working for a private bank, you want to be working for a wealth advisory firm or a mutual fund company. So, it's not a very, it's a very relative thing that you ask. Like, so as such, we do not have a basket of recommendations of AI products or AI certifications or AI courses at this point in time. But, once we sit and understand you from a better aspect, which might not be possible in a public forum, but it's always possible at an individual level, then it would be possible for us to recommend. And you are also, as of now, to answer your question very specifically, we are not having a basket of AI courses to suggest, but it's an ongoing thing because it's all new, it's all evolving situation. It's still fluid out there, right? So we also evolve, we also learn, we also try to bring a lot of AI into our deliveries. We also try to bring AI into our content in terms of voiceovers and stuff like that. So everywhere everyone is learning, but can that AI replace us, or what exactly is the certification as a complementary that you might have to do? It depends upon your individual profile, but we could always discuss that during this ongoing journey. So that's,
Thank you.
I think you should take that as an
Thank you.
offline thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So, Vivo, with this, I cannot see any question unanswered, or neither I can see any raised hand. So, with this, time to wind up the session. So, first of all, thank you so much, everyone, for spending your time with us. I hope we could have been able to add some value to your knowledge. And thank you so much, Vibhu sir, first of all, for accepting my invitation and for this lovely presentation. Thank you, Kisan.
Uh,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
it's
Vibhu
always a
sir.
pleasure to meet you
Thanks,
all. Thank you
everyone.
so much for your time on the weekend. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Good day.